What is up, guys? Welcome back to another video. Just one quick thing before we get into the video. I just want to say if I do sound kind of weird, I am sick, so just be advised. I do sound like complete ass. But I wanted to also start the video by saying, depending on how you view today, happy 9/11 Memorial Day, or a very sad Memorial Day for 9/11. I always like to think of it or say of it as happy 9/11 Memorial Day because. Um, it's our chance to step back and remember the people's lives and all the great things that everyone did that suffered on 9/11. But without further ado, let's get into this. So, if you're not aware of it, last night, or I should say yesterday, around 12, I think it was 12:10, um, the Christian public speaker and conservative activist, he was known for debating people. Charlie Kirk was assassinated by a um, radical, left-leaning, most likely assassin, and yeah, it was a day. I'll tell you that it was a what an insane day it was yesterday. I mean, I wanted to put this out last night, and I'm glad I waited because I'm cooled off now. I'm angry, but I'm not as angry as I was yesterday. Um, And I already know if I would have made a video yesterday, I would have said some things that are probably not good for the internet. um, and I think it's important now that we get to take a step back and we get to understand the situation as a whole. And we're going to go into it right now. So I hope you guys are ready for it. But without further ado, um, I would like to take a moment just to be quiet and remember Charlie Kirk. So a lot of people came out yesterday and were very vocal about it. Triple H from the WWE, he spoke out about Charlie Kirk. We had Kamala Harris, the runner-up for the presidential election of the most recent one. We've had people like Nancy Pelosi come out and condemn the acts of basically terrorism. That's what this was. This is a political assassination. We've obviously had Trump, who was a big supporter and a big fan of Charlie Kirk and his ideology. And yeah, it was one of those things where both sides, not everybody on both sides, but most people on both sides came together and to recognize the disaster that is this entire event, because this event should never have happened. Like this incident should never have happened. Um, and I'm also glad I waited today because they just announced this morning. Donald Trump announced this morning that he will be awarding posthumously, which means basically after Charlie's death, he'll be awarding him the Presidential Medal of Freedom, which I believe is the highest ranking medal a civilian can get. And that is going to be announced when that's going to happen soon. They said that it's not confirmed yet when that's going to happen, but he is in the works of getting that awarded to him. For those that don't know what happened, Charlie was giving a debate in basically the opening of the Turning Point USA corporation. It's like a little thing that Charlie started. Um, and they were starting their season, their debate season, so they were doing their opening show in Utah. I believe it was at the University of Utah, if I remember correctly. Um, and he got about 30 minutes or so in, I believe. It wasn't very long into his event, where a assassin took his one and single shot. They struck Charlie Kirk in the neck, hitting his main artery. Um, he basically bled out within less than 2 minutes, because if your main artery, the one in your neck that goes throughout your body, if that ever gets severed, you're looking at minutes, if not seconds, until you're dead. And unfortunately for Charlie Kirk, that became his fate. Um, If you haven't seen the video of Charlie Kirk and the shot, I would recommend not looking for it. Again, do not look for it. I have seen the video, and it is one of the hardest things I've ever had to see in my life, and I don't think I'll ever forget that video. I don't think I'll ever be able to not think about it when I'm sad, because it is just an intense, raw, real thing, right? You're seeing someone die, and it is not a great it is not a great thing at all. Um, and everyone knows me. I'm someone who likes to laugh away pain, and even now, I'm able to find a way to try to be happy in all this craziness. But I know yesterday was a rough day for a lot of people. For the people that were there, for his daughters, for his wife that were there, who had to witness this event. Um, it has been confirmed that one of his daughters was actually trying to run to the stage when everything happened, because she was scared. Um, and it just sucks, man, because people had to see this, not only there, but around the world. I mean, this video was spammed throughout all of Twitter and Facebook and um, TikTok. And the world we live in just is okay with that, right? They're okay with showing the final moments of a man who all he wanted to do was conversate with people, right? That's all he wanted to do. He never said anything racist. He had crazy takes for some people. I never found any of his crazy takes crazy. This idea that abortion should be illegal, that you shouldn't be able to kill a baby in the womb, I think is a pretty standardized, basic human view. Um, Pretty common sense. The idea there's only two genders, pretty common sense in my opinion. The idea that a man and a woman should be the primary focus for marriage, right? Not that there's anything wrong with other marriages, but that is the way God intended, is the way He's designed us. The idea of putting God first, right? That was his big thing, putting God first, letting God design and guide you throughout your journey of life. These are all things that he fought for, and he never stopped anyone from voicing their opinions. He was very vocal to everybody, and he allowed people to come up with rebuttals, and that dialogue is now gone. Right, we have now lost that dialogue. Now, earlier in the video, I said left, most likely left leaning assassin. And now some people might find that a little presumptuous. That's what I'm looking for. And I do truly believe this is a alt left extremist that did orchestrate this hit. Because at the end of the day, this was a political assassin. This was not murder. This was not an incident. This was not just a killing. This is a political assassination. This was someone who paid someone to kill him in order to silence the right leaning belief. That's what this was. Let's be realistic. Okay? I think in order for us to heal and move forward as a country and try to fix the issues we have, is we need to start being honest when things happen and start realizing that these are the things that are happening. This is what this is, right? This was an attempt to silence the silent majority, and all it has done has woke us all up from our slumber. Um, as Mahato used to say, in a quote he gave, I think it was right after World War II, was, "I fear all we have done is woken a sleeping giant and filled it with a terrible resolve." And that's what happened yesterday. Yesterday was our modern day um, horrific incident that had awoken this passion for people. I know for me it has. I feel like a part of who I am, because I follow Charlie Kirk a lot. I followed him and a lot of the other guys that he would run with, and I feel like even now, after I woke up and realized that it wasn't a nightmare, I do feel like a part of my beliefs has been ripped away, and I don't think I will ever let people of the other ideology, that's what it is. The people of the other ideology live that down. Especially since a lot of them are out here cheering this. They're saying this is a good thing, and it's disturbing. It's gross, and it's rough to listen to and to see. Like this is an ideology. The left is an ideology of hatred, right? They condone the violence of others, but they will resort to violence every single time they don't get their way. And if you don't believe me, all you have to do is look at history. The Democrats, when they get angry, they get violent, right? When they don't get what they want, they get violent. They killed President Abraham Lincoln because they failed the Civil War. They lost the war, slavery ended, and the Democratic Party got mad and assassinated the President of the United States. They attempted to kill Donald Trump because they couldn't beat him in an election. Some say that John F. Kennedy and Martin Luther King Jr. were killed by Democrats because they were killed by the racists in the early, what was it, 80s and 60s and 90s. So let's be understanding that there is a violent side to the politics of some groups in the United States of America. And America has never been a land where you can kill your opponents because they hurt your feelings or because of the opposite side. No. America was founded on the principles that one another can argue and move on. That's why we have elections, is so that each side gets a chance to prove the other side wrong, right? If your side sucks right now, doesn't mean you're always going to suck, man. That's the point of this whole thing that we call the United States. We win, we do things, we either win and we're successful, or we lose and we're not successful, and we can learn to grow from those things. But killing an innocent man, a husband, a father, for what reason other than the fact that your opinions or your feelings were hurt by his opinions? It's gross. It's disturbing, and any one of the people who are out here supporting this are in any form fans of mine or are friends of mine or that I talk to on a daily basis. If you're out here splitting these proud moments, please unadd me, please unfollow me, please whatever. I don't want you in my life. No matter your political stance, you could be the same political stance as me, but if you're supporting the death of a man who didn't deserve to die because of opinions, you obviously got your morals fucked up, and you need to really figure out your morals. It's sad. Charlie Kirk was just someone who's following the role that God put him there. And he ultimately paid the price in blood. He will go down as an American hero. He will go down as a martyr for all Christians in the 21st century. He will go down in history as a man who stood against tyranny, against extremist groups. But he will also, and most importantly, go down as a man who preached the gospel to the youth of the United States of America and to the world. All around the world today, people are mourning the loss of him, and now they are mourning the loss of him on top of the loss of 9/11 in 2001. There's an evil in this world, guys. There's an evil in this world. And I think we are bound to soon realize that evil is closer than we may think. And it's time we band together as Christians and as Republicans and as even Democrats that are semi-moderate. It's time we band together with the intermediates, the mediums, the ones that are in the middle of the political scale. And it is time that we bind together as a community. Yesterday in the House Senate, there was an incident. I wanted to mention this too because I think this is a really good representation of the world that we're currently living in. In the House Senate, a Republican member of the Senate, a female from, I don't remember what state it was, but she was a Republican and she offered to she wanted to do a prayer for Charlie Kirk after the news. The Democrats yelled no in the middle of Congress and the House Senate and said no. And she replied with, y'all caused this. This is y'all's fault. Y'all caused this. That is where we live in. or praying just hurts the people on the other side. Let me tell you something, guys. Praying, you don't need to be a religious person just to do a prayer. You know what I mean? Like, you could literally be the most anti-religious person ever, and if someone says, let's pray real quick, just pray. Close your eyes. You don't need to listen to what is being said. You can just close your eyes, be quiet for a few minutes, let them pray. But you know who reacts negatively to prayers? Demons and the devil. They are scared of prayer. They are scared of religion. And they're scared of Jesus Christ. Just remember that. They're scared. So we, as a country, we need to take a step back and realize that our leaders, the people making decisions for you and me, they're not who they say they are. They don't have the same beliefs as you and I do. And they most likely, I'm positive, they do not have the best intentions. I will end this video with saying, Charlie Kirk, you will be missed, but your beliefs and your way of speaking will be forever remembered. And they did not silence your voice yesterday. They've just made it louder than ever before. Thank you.